Meet Josh, a busy repair contractor. Josh doesn't have time to order or make improvements to his work order forms.
So when one young die, please share the video. We are live on Facebook and Twitter. Please share the video. I'm talking about Loy from one young. Taban, I'm going to be longer than Tia Garang John. Like here and that we pull in this video. So like Garang John, the band, and become from one young talking. We call die, we want young die, no matter Garang John turns to lucky and bar, let's stay media to live, and who said and it's all up there, Madit Majak. So I'm becoming a coach and they video music about two. We'll catch a band Taban and be jump from one young choking about from one young, we'll catch one my leg, we'll catch a jump from one young. My apology to you guys. So Taban, we want young die, you been die, watch for more. Ran jam ten and any job Madit Majak, Leg State Media from Leg State Media. We can get a Ganja. Taban on breaking news. He Garang John Tao page the call. Who claimed you got a little that I will pull it up. Can Taban we one niku Garang John and on crashes Kakuma for Yakuma work. But the Akpo do tongue what he thought the way being Balabate Bakamba, but quite low Benami Chalak, you know. Bye. So, can't you pop? Can Chloe Garang John Tong the entire Kagabang? Kagpan a bang. I should pop, you could get it below. Huh? So, I die and I die, Kalo, minimum one in the loin to a crong idea. Sijinate. So she can't go because got a diarrhea. Then she go down. Give me one young die. Where you will die. Probably next day media is one of the media. You fighting hard, especially me, Madit. When the man who Garang John Tina match, and the killer bay watch you look and the killer him but Patrick Wuyut, a chairman of media, South Sudan media, chairman Patrick Wuyut. I reach out to Patrick Wuyut. The same day, Chili Garang John Loy, Chile Mike, and she read out by Garang John Bubeta, let's say, media below interview. Luku campaign, I read it, big Garang John below the The man King Garang John Loy, Garang John, Kia, Louis read it, can, could you take up Kia pose, media de ko is getting a lot of even chakalo rod nas kan Garang John to chok. So he's doing Tanya na lui kudong support kulo nasi tong da communicate go ban baga kwen ke yuk da lui ja ma cha kulo kudong nas a lui support. Second tweet command post the tabe kin and when you want to one young die. And the kid to God and Garang John. I'm quoting Garang John. He said that the resources inside Dr. Riek Machar is official resident in Maran have informed this publication that he has been arrested. His security detail violently beating a handicap and lead away. Giant Angrang Yagmacha, Dr. Yagmacha, he might could security ban I think a thought I think you up called Kunyaika, Burkakin, Kunyaika. And when you have to one young guy, and we'll Garang John. Quite why the Garang John, which you Garang John dog. Tong de lo ke state le ben ko chok junu Sudan ban ben ko tuom ni bi ko nok mun yaren bi tong bi pot yeah what quite a media outlet a took ting and Garang John is fighting with president with president family ke got ban kimin the man kin video lo leak video ban kin lo leak out whether ko ke lo leak or yen ke chuk tin kin yoga innocent hine yoga innocent do hine lo yin ki yer yet ko a chen tong kin lo isin Garang John a chen kin tong tat tin man bai ekunu kira lo kimin yin ke government ban alwo ke support kimin instant ban ku jala pandit ban alwo ka te ko ju ke ja po da ko won biran ka kwen a ka kai ni okay monjang culture monjang kien di nongi ko dong adi Garang John and QBRS is here and QBR tribal is here from Garang John the king Garang John anyaji ne man o ko barkadale ko le ban wai bor lakin bor ba TikTok ko ka wa chwe tok tek anong bor unong tweet and I believe Garang John in the man tweet pan tweet no ko jin wanta bai me che dok wala Garang che ko pinto pan bor ban ta ki Garang John dok kan abu mwankin abu ko mwankin can by man Junub Sudan a ki pod man lakin din dala be ba fake news ba jata media fake news ba ta media can ko runo ere junior kati ko lo a very harmful a ci ku ci lo yi yong ci di yong sigine ci wor why come I Garang John and jam kinten and ci my 2016 and Madit kin and ci mic da man to ina ku mai dato ina SSP see krong reporter da man kin 2016 aj ban junub juba tini juba duwan wa ken kan Garang John ci mic tin ci asini wa ci ga jora kin lakin jaban media ba kuma balad or ba banglad or ba mu loy and ci mic and ci tat wa ci ga jora kin by a deep than you and I. Pankene a deep walk ban and be quite that poor meme and move at you think. So, you example, the man kin tongue on Pereira 2013. War of 2016 and Mulorat and we jog or 2013 war 2016 dog fight in J1. The media ran tung Kang Chale and Riek Machar. Ki post Facebook day. Alo Riek Machar ki dom ana ki dog man no ken ramtong J1 rekiro loy. Ken you be loy. Ngoda man by tonga chepe lokia. Enough is enough. If you want your justice to be done, you cannot do your justice through social media. But Gana Jala Tabe again. Can I hear you? Anyway, we quite die. office kudong akuma kudong office ngadia Dr. Yang Machar spokesperson actually press release kitabech can you got that an important note. Please be advised that the information recently published by Garang John regarding the allegation arrested of Dr. Yang Machar 10 First Vice President is public and baseless. We strongly condemn the disinformation or misinformation issued by the Grand John. Mr. John, all the media outlet to accuse reporting relying on official communication from the office of the first vice president. We appeal to all to refrain from this action that could further target the current institution. So, by no in terms of Junubin and now Kimi Tong Nasser, a social media propaganda. Some of people come out in social media doing propaganda, so that's why people lost their life in Nasser. But if you be Garang John Loy, so can get a good Garang, you need to stop it. I couldn't.
Somebody called Elisa. Elisa here, who is also very nasty, more than Garang John, wants to besought the information that was given by the office of the Machar. It's good that I brought up Edmund Yagani, who had actually briefed some of other media before to come and tell those who are listening here now. Garang John issue will not, you see, Garang John will not deviate from this. It has become his own behaviors. It doesn't know that he will still come back to South Sudan. So sometimes one has to be disregarding this. This man called Lizangor is saying that Young Machar is dead.
Yes, Honorable. I can see. And then you know one thing that I like to take advantage of this. The same Elisa published information that was being shared with me to say I'm arrested and my wife was cooking for me. I know this Elisa. These are people.
That's not completely lost. He must not be here.
Remove him out from the room.
Okay.
Yeah, that same person. Yeah.
Even he was saying he was speaking propaganda, and Madit is under instruction of national security. Riak is killed, dead. I don't know where he gets that information. I think he needs to be really disciplined. And of course, he's still posting there. And of course, sometimes these are people who just want to divert attention and provide all news. And I remember when he was squeezed about my arrest, and then he told Madit I was released 20 minutes after when he published his wrong information that I've been arrested.
I remove him from the room.
Yeah, let me just brief people who are up here. So thank you. Yeah. To all of you moderators up here and those who are down there, I've been just some minutes ago from Edward School. There's nothing that Riak is being arrested and his bodyguards was beaten. And of course, the first person who reached out to me was Madit. After Madit, quite a number of people from diaspora reached out to me to confirm. And what I did is to get independent information. I read to the rightful contacts of His Excellency, First Vice President. And that's why immediately the press secretary have to act because they say, don't allow this information to go for an hour. Respond to it immediately, officer. And that's why if you see the Facebook page of the press secretary of His Excellency, First Vice President, have condemned that and have said that is a fake news, that's not official news. Because if you allow it to continue, it's going to be tense. A few things that I'd like to clarify that might have contributed for this propaganda. One, we are aware that every evening, the route to the square where most of our leaders are living, His Excellency First Vice President, former Vice President Dr. Waniga, His Excellency President Salva Kiir, that particular square every evening is blocked. And personally, I interacted with the people who are the soldiers and I told them, okay, why are you blocking the road? One of the things that they told me, and I think is a genuine information, that one, the situation atmosphere is broken, okay, and don't anybody take advantage to come to this block and cause chaos. Safety and protection of our leaders is our responsibility. So all those rules are blocked. And they're not blocked at the immediate house. You don't block the immediate house, you can then comes the propaganda. First, it's blocked the side of ACC, that entry from ACC, because some of you will do it very well. It was blocked the entry from Commonwealth. It was blocked the entry from the Tabanden's office is been blocked. And then the side of the ministries, going to the ministries blocked. In front of the SPLM Secretariat and the World Bank is open. And if you come through, if you want to enter to where Malong's house before now our Honorable Paul Manyang is living is blocked. So they blocked main entries to that particular square for nobody to take advantage. And normally it's at late evening and then early morning they leave people to do their business as usual. That's the environment that if you want to say there's arrest, detention, and beating, that particular setup could have been if at the immediate gate of the leaders, then at the immediate gate of the leaders. Because personally, I really take time, check in the late evening, and then move early in the morning to confirm what happened for my accuracy to share with you information. So there's nothing like that. Second, I know that tomorrow there's a head of state summit of IGAD coming up. And tomorrow specific and the summit is on the situation of South Sudan. So from now on, there will be huge information war that will be waged to shape and to influence the summit. And of course, our all ultimate goal is that the summit will contribute in this escalating the political disputes and misunderstanding among our leaders, because usually in any other country, such disputes, but we don't want to do. And of course, there's an argument whether IGAD will deliver or not deliver. I'll tell you that. So if it wasn't IGAD, would have not secured the relative ceasefire and the peace we have. Though we are dragging our feet. It's no longer a question of IGAD. It's a question of our own political responsibility to leave our country. And of course, we have a lot of issues that might have hindered our political cooperation as different political parties in the government of South Sudan to deliver the country to the destined way. So for me, that's Madit to say is that there's a huge propaganda going on. There's a huge propaganda going on. And I think also there's a new culture that people have merged that without propaganda, they don't have attention. So this propaganda is going heavily. And tomorrow we'll see prior to the summit what type of propaganda is going to go. And of course, we have other things that are also disputed. Either the issue of UPDF is going to take up a dimension that is heavily. The question around the IGAD member state interests, those who have best interest in South Sudan, their take on the debate on our country. And of course, we are aware that junior officers of IO were released, still seniors are in. Of course, our advice is that we wish the seniors could have been released before the summit so that some of the members still will take advantage. And I think this is where Honorable Duar is very important to see that at least the senior, because one of the pressing points going to be on the president is the detention of the senior officers of the SPLM and SPLA IO, which will happen there. But of course, one thing that Madit is becoming more a new culture in South Sudan. I know you've been speaking in your mother tongue, but the question of this element of information loaded with hatred, with hostile propaganda. So we're using languages that are loaded with things that may easily provide several interpretations and that may lead to misinformation. So for me, as you say, that is what we need to really avoid. That's where we are. And then as a politician, if you start fabricating information that leads people to violence and hold no evidence, no accuracy, no relevancy, that's going to be a disaster. That's my updates, Honorable Duar, and then Madit. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. You're also now a moderator. You can bring those who can actually come and try to discuss at length of how bad is the disinformation is, and you see, because those of Garang John, however you talk to them like what, they will not listen to you. I have sent him myself to his inbox and asking him please to lower down, because he's my friend on Facebook, and instead he returned back to me with insult. So I just left him. You discard people like that. You're right, by the way, Edmund Yakani. There will be a lot of questions that will be asked as to what will be done with the senior official of the IO. But as you know very well, all countries are governed by law. Anybody who's in conflict of law, with law, is always is always difficult for intervention. Even those of
Can
us,
you guys hear the voice,
when they
guys?
come, I know some may be saying these are political detainees, but when they come and get the realities, I don't think anybody would want to have a situation like that where people are trying to investigate the situation, like what those of Garang are doing. If Garang was here,
So
he
you guys
is-
can
he
hear
is
the
first of the
voice.
people
Let
that
me
is
know
supposed to
you
be
the sound is
arrested
good. The
because,
audio is good. Okay.
the
Thank,
Parliament of South Sudan,
thank you,
Parliament,
Sabit.
has
Thank you.
passed a law prohibiting misuse of information and misuse of media, all media, including social media. So anybody that does such a things and incite violence and instigate a situation like this, so that people can have problem, such a people always go to jail and be taken to court. And so I saw some news today, whether that was correct. Michael McQuay was saying some of these individuals will be taken to court, some are going to be released, and of which you have just confirmed that 8 of them are released, the junior officers, and then those who have remained, maybe these were the people that the investigation is indicating that they have a case to answer before court. If that is the case, I don't think there will be anybody, including IGAD, that will have problem of somebody who is
Thank you,
awaiting
Malwal.
to go to court to answer himself, to make it possible for such individual to be acquitted. So that should be the way we can go. If we politicize everything always, if some people try to go in conflict with law and then later on takes excuse of being politician and wanted to be released, then we are also compromising our law that we pass ourselves. I don't think there will be any problem. There will be still a problem to be asked. I know you are not far from truth by the delegation that is coming, head of states and representative of governments that will be coming from IGAD, from AU, from other international organizations that are joining us tomorrow on Wednesday. Actually today we are already in AM now. So there will be no problem. They will ask and they will be given the right answers. I, for one, I did not want really to do something that compromises the law governing the land, because these people have gone beyond this, and that is what led actually to the loss of life that was lost in Nasser. And we cannot conclude because some of them may be not guilty until proven beyond doubt. Otherwise, they are still there now waiting to go to court. The result of the investigation will indicate, will dictate what their own fate. What have they done, and what are they going to be in the court? So I thank you very much. You are always very proactive, Edmund Yakani. And if we have civil society like you all over the country, then we could not have been having problem, by the way. A civil society role is to educate public of such a things. Like once you hear that there are issues that are not going correctly, you always intervene and get the right answer to it. So thank you very much. I must really be appreciative and thank you for this. Thank you very much.
Yeah. You know, Edmund Yakani, I have a question for you. There is
Well, I will mute myself. You can moderate the room, okay? Give other people a chance. So I'm in the studio, so it will be make an echo sound if I do both audio.
I like your advocacy for peace in our country. However, there is part of your statement. You repeated it here in this room, and you said this a while ago in the people People's Voice Forum of Edward.
For Edward Check,
Of Edward, yeah. That it would have been nice if the detained leaders of the SPLAIO were released before the summit. Some of those leaders, Brother Edmund Yakani, they were really involved in the conflict in Nasser. I can swear to God by my soul that at least a guy called Gabriel Lam was directing the combat, because we heard his voice here, and if you wanted to, it can be sent to you, so you can hear his voice talking to a guy called Tor Gilifon. Tor Gilifon was the leader of the White Army who led the White Army to combat, in which he ended up getting killed himself. We could hear his voice here. To some of us who lost our relatives in Nasser, I think it would be fair if you were to advocate for justice. Yes, just because they are accused, it doesn't mean that their rights should not be honored. They should be brought to court and given a chance to defend themselves. But honestly speaking, because if we really want peace in our country, if we think that there are some people that are leaders and that they should just commit crime and that they should just incite violence and that they should just be released because they are leaders, I don't think that is going to give our country peace. I, as a person who lost relatives, and I have heard the voice of Gabriel Lam, I lost relatives in Nasser. I don't think that is fair. And if this is the way we want this country to be, I think we're going to take laws into our own hands. Because I don't think my family can see Gabriel drop in front of us in Juba and don't do something about that. The only way we cannot take action against any of the IO is when the justice is delivered. I got to let you know that, and you as a civil society activist, I think it would be fair if you advocate for the rule of law for all of us. But if there are some people that you think they are leaders and therefore they should be released because they're affiliated of certain political parties, I think that is not a fair argument. I'll give you a chance to respond.
Yeah, thank you very much. First, also, I share the same pain like you because I know some few individuals who are soldiers whom I went several times to Nasir and I built a rapport with them, and they're across the ethnic tribes of South Sudan. They have lost their lives, and really it's painful for that. And that's why maybe what I'd like to do as a disclaimer is that maybe I didn't pronounce the word of accountability here, but I think in Edward's room I pronounced the language that Honorable McCoy used. I think also Honorable Duar used here that law. And normally, when somebody in conflict with the law, present them before the court of law, and that's what we do. I could do the best. It's not that I'm really denying that I'm not calling for accountability. I'm calling for just an accountability. They need to present it to the court of law and then face the law. But of course, investigation is taking place. That's one. But also, this comes also to work. If you remember, in one of my statements, I've demanded for investigation into the situation of Nasir because I'm calling for justice and accountability, but also I'm calling for political accountability, not only justice and accountability as in terms of access to justice, but also political accountability so that we don't repeat this question of manipulating identities and using different identities for a different gains that we want to gain because of the political tension. And that's why I'm feeling that actually calling for investigation, thorough investigation, not only calling for investigation, thorough investigation. And if you have heard my voice, I've even recommended that institutions like the UN Commission for Human Rights in South Sudan should go thoroughly investigate what really went wrong. So we learn out of it and we correct. So I do share with you, and my disclaimer is that I stand for justice and accountability. I can't compromise. And not only in the case of Nasir, across the country. I've been demanding that, and that's always my standpoint, that we can't compromise with people who have exercise of being, actually, then there's no need to have the laws. Because if you compromise that exercise of someone is in conflict with the law and you compromise his being in conflict with the law, then there's no need for you to have a law. Where the law so that don't compromise with the individuals who are in conflict with the law. But if an individual is in conflict with the law, let them be presented to competent court of law in the quickest time and let them be held accountable to be a lesson. By the way, well, I do share with them, it's a lesson. As you said, People will take the law into their hand when they deny what they expect as a credible accountability and justice that they have been waiting for. And that's what, it's not only you, and that's why me and you are online, but the people who are physically in the funeral, you can see speaking bitterly because they feel the pain. As you said, they have lost their loved ones, they have lost their family, they have lost even sometimes breadwinners. I know families that have lost breadwinners, and we're trying to console them, go around, and even I know IO officers that have died in this accident last year. Then you start asking yourself, for how long should we play this injustice game for political gain if we don't hold people accountable? And that's why also what I was saying to anybody who is up here and down there, that all these atrocities we're committing, remember, they are still within the lifespan of the our access. They are still documented as part and parcel of Chapter 5. That's what I'm saying. Some people may feel now as a joke, but they will, one day they'll find themselves answering questions because evidence has been documented. So I do share with you that I'm not really done playing justice and accountability. Forgive me if because I didn't pronounce it in this room, but I think in Edward room, as I explained, I say present them because they're in conflict with the law, present them to the court of law. So I do agree with you that we should not compromise with the call for justice and accountability because it will set presidency. If we can hold them accountable today, it will set precedents for generations to come. If we compromise with them today, it will set precedents for generations to come also. So we don't want to set presidency where application of the law is always been compromised for political gain and political purposes. So for me, I do share with you that I don't take time, but I hope that you have also understood me. I really feel the same pain you have, and that's why I keep on demanding for really investigation of the situation that to lead to justice and accountability. And this is still within the lifetime of our access. Chapter 5 is applicable. Otherwise, even me, my brother Wall, if anything happened to me, I'll take the law into my hand as if I see I'm denied justice, because denial of justice is injustice. And once if there's injustice, many people say that if injustice prevails, then violence becomes the response to injustice, which we don't want it. And I do agree with you, the same sentiment with you. So I hope you got my position and you got my call. And of course, that's why we keep on calling for investigation. We keep on calling for presenting those who are, and even some of the things that the investigation we've been proposing, also let's investigate the role of misinformation, disinformation, hate speech, hostile propaganda that might have contributed in instigating a spirit of revenge or a spirit of culture associated with the violence in Nazi. So we should not only end up at the bullets. So some of us are using bullets through media outlets that actually pushes people to fight and has led to the loss of lives in Nasir or in other parts of the country. Thank you, my brother. Well, I hope you have understood me here.
Yes, yes, I like your response, and I think continue to maintain the same advocacy, because sometimes I begin to question myself. You know, some old men live in AC in Cuba, and then they incite the young men against one another. Young men who are in barracks somewhere far away from Cuba, and they ended up losing their lives. And then, if we don't hold them accountable, the question then becomes, how long shall these old men incite young men against one another? How long? The latest incident in Nasser, by the way, has hurt a lot of people. And some people are taking it lightly, and we have seen the game. In 2013, we lost a lot of people. We lost a lot of lives. And later on, even the IGAD itself betrayed us. The justice and accountability was handed over into the hand of the folks, the same group of people who led the fighting against one another and involved the people of South Sudan. So how can they prosecute themselves? You know? And so, but now for some folks to think that they can incite the violence again and have some relative skill and expect us to not react, no. If justice is not delivered, we will seek our own justice, because we're sick and tired of people creating situations where we lose a lot of lives every year. You know, we can't take it anymore. Some of our relatives did not join SSPDF to be pushed. That's not what they signed up for. They signed up to defend this nation. but not to be pushed by the politician. And the politician always side the violence. We've taken another if this thing is not handled in good way, you're going to see some kind of Afghanistan style of stuff happening in Sudan. Because difficult Kalampari, I can tell you this, my brother. So your advocacy for justice may help the situation. Otherwise, it is escalating. It is escalating, and we lost faith. I personally, I lost faith in IGAD because look at the kind of the peace agreement that the IGAD gave us. Where is the justice and accountability? Yes, where is it at? And then because the same parties to the conflict, just because see now, because in the RRCs or in the agreement, because the justice and accountability was not carried out, then that is a game as usual. It becomes business as usual. And so they can incite conflict anytime because they don't, nothing deters them. And yeah, they can incite conflict and the violence happen, and it's just going to be business as usual. Well, the pain has reached our bones. Many of us, the pain has reached our bones. And if it's not handled with care, we don't care if a Reis or a vice president, whatever the crap you are, your title. And we got to make this clear. Thank you very much. I don't know, Brother Madit, who was supposed to go. I don't know who has spoken.
Yes, so you can move the line to, I know Sultan. Sultan Ding, I think, is next. Yes, Sultan Ding is next, yes. Give a chance to Sultan Ding.
Thank you, moderator Madit. Thank you, Eagle Media, for South Sudan Eagle Media for always bringing and dispute the fake news of this Garang Jones propaganda in social media. Thank you, Honorable Duar, and also thanks to Agustino, who is up with us here, and Edmund Kani, Wal Moranyar, Majak, and Angelo, and all the people in the podium down there. Yeah, to my surprise, actually, this has been going around saying that Mashar has been arrested and so forth. I don't know what benefit will people like Garang John get toward making this kind of propagandas in the social media, whereby in reality there is nothing has happened of such a kind. Yet there were arrests made, but those arrests were not including the vice president. The first vice president is not, as many of you have already stated clear to us here, like Idemon Yakan and Honorable Dua, you guys are in South Sudan, and that we can believe in what you two of you can state it here, because Dua is government representatives and Idemon Yakani is a civil society leader, whereby there are two different parties here who have said this, that there was no arrest of the first vice president, which is very good, and I thank Madit for bringing this up, because when you let it go to the to the masses with this kind of propaganda, it may cause some insecurity, not just only in Juba, but in another part of the country. Already we know that what is happening in Nasser and other places, people are in alerts. Also, it will trigger an insecurity within Juba and around Juba. So it is very good that you guys came up and make it clear to the public that there is nothing of such a kind that has happened. And I believe Garang John is making his propaganda, maybe he's fighting the regimes in his own term, but it is very dangerous when you reach to this level of propagandas, whereby some prominent politicians have to be included in propagandas. So I think I would not say so much. I'm pleased that you guys have cleared the hair, and I will just let others people contribute. Thank you so much, and I will stop from here.
Thank you, Brother Sultan. You know, if there are people who buy fake news will be broadcasted. You know, Garang John deliberately did it because he was anticipating that he will find some customers who buy. In 2016, James Gadat fabricated a story like that. Didn't that end up causing a war in the country? So Garang John was anticipating the same reaction in 2016. Little did he know that he didn't have learned the lessons here. And so nobody's going to buy fake news and take actions based on that. With the advance of active civil society, such as Brother Edmund Yakini too, those who fabricated stories with an intent to trigger conflict in the country are going to have small space, and also the likes of Brother Madit here are doing a wonderful job. And plus, 2025 is not 2026. It's not that hard to fact check somebody nowadays. So it's a good thing. It's a beautiful thing. And I'm glad too that our newer brothers have learned a lesson too, that they're not just reading anything that they see on Facebook, and then they fill up their magazine of their AK-47 and start spraying people with bullets. So that's a beautiful thing. I wish we had the same behaviors in 2016. Our people who died in that event would have been alive now. Thank you very much, Brother Sultan. Yakini, Duar, any of you, if you have anything to say, just blink your mic. Let you come in. Brother Majak, have you spoken? Majak, if you haven't, mic goes to you.
Is Majok in around?
Yes, Majak is around. Yeah, go ahead.
There's somebody called Wanayuak. Wanayuak has asked a question, which I just want to tell you, my brother. All these things are all publications. And you might have heard from McQuay, or Michael McQuay, some few hours ago, when he denied, he said, there's nothing called, there's nothing like that, the Ugandan army are in the country. Well, they could be trying, but let me tell you one. We have what we call military cooperation with Uganda, South Sudan and Uganda. Anything when anything happened to one of the countries, Uganda or South Sudan, we can always same deploy our troops. There will be no any crime about it. But I don't think there has been troops in South Sudan. I have been touring the whole day around, but I haven't seen any signal that there's Uganda troop in South Sudan. And the official spokesperson of the government, who is the Minister of Information, has already ravaged that. I was surprised when I got the voice from Radio Tamaulic of a Ugandan Brigadier General speaking about it, admitting it, the spokesperson. That was a different thing, different stories altogether. The issue now became an issue of General Moizi, who always tweets. His tweets are not very new to anyone. He has tweeted a lot, including when he was almost actually trying to let I mean, a Kenyan protested his tweets when he was saying he could overrun Kenya within a week if we're allowed to do that. So all these things are his tweet anyway. I will not shy away from getting such messages from his own ex. And so my brother Awan, the right person who was supposed to give you the true answer is Michael McCoy, and he has already spoken. So what else would I say here? And your question is already answered by McCoy. Until then, we'll see them on ground. This is where I will be talking. But now I haven't seen any UPDF in South Sudan. Thank you very much.
Yes, Comrade Duwar, as an MP representing Bogal, with regards to what has happened in Nasser, is there any parliamentary committee to investigate what has happened in Nasser, to let the nation know that unless you or lawmakers are doing something on our behalf, what is Parliament stand now? Or have you left that to the Minister of Justice to handle it?
No, actually, what happened actually, the Parliament is still on recess. The Parliament has not come to session yet. But in this particular issue of Upper Nile, which was being handled by the security sector in executive, has actually caught the eye of everybody. And the Committee of Security and Defense have already called for questioning of the official in the Ministry of Defense and Ministry of National Security in the office of the president. So I think they are doing their own job, because that is not a work of the whole house. So the whole house is not in session. The whole house is still in recess. So it is the work of the committee. The committee is doing their own job. I was there in the Parliament today. I think it should be yesterday, because now it's already past something to 2. We are in different day. So yesterday I was in Parliament, and I had such arrangement is being done by the committees, the Defense and Veteran Affairs, and then the Committee of Security and Public Order. We used to be one actually when I was the chair. They were Defense, Security and Public Order by then. So they are now doing their job, and they are questioning the official concern of what has transpired in Nasser, and what is the way forward. And so we should be getting the voice of Parliament very soon, although the Parliament is not in session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let me get away from the clubhouse. Those of you who are watching in Facebook and YouTube and X, we want to come out to make that the fake news that Garang John put in on his wall is fake news. As you see the response from a spokesperson of Vice President Dr. Riek Machar, Mr. Pok Kong is a spokesperson of past Vice President Dr. Riek Machar. He said that Dr. Riek has not been arrested. So we just want to let the public know. Some of you just showed that Garang John, that is opinion. So that's not the issues going on in Nasser is cooked by media propaganda. Seeing the war before it break out. So there's a lot of propaganda going on in social media. Okay, and many people put out that the forces going to Nasser, they are going to disarm, okay, the White Army. So all of these media go out before all this misinformation go out in social media before that horrible attack that lead the death of General David Majak and other SSPDF forces. So that is what we want to prevent. Those of you are watching, and one of the guys who just wrote this one right here, because that's what we want to prevent. Let people public know that any fake news going on in social media, please do not take that, especially those of you in South Sudan, in Juba. Make sure that you need to provide before you take that. Those of Garang John and the others, they are doing a lot of propaganda. Okay, they want to see a war to break out in South Sudan. They want many of you to die, like what happened in Nasser. Okay, and that's what we want to prevent here. Lagos State Media is here to give you accurate information. We are not here to against anybody. Okay, first time that Garang John was arrested, when we was arrested, Garang John, do you know the media that came out first time to campaign for Garang John to be released? It's us. We even invited the chairman. We even invited the chairman of journalists in South Sudan. Okay, and then we interviewed him and we raised our voice that the freedom of express need to be done. Do not arrest the journalists. It's not a good thing. Freedom have to be given, and then we campaign a lot so that Garang John should be released. So nobody's here against Garang John. I'm a person. I have nothing against Garang John. So that's why I was campaigning for his release at the time until the government release him, which is very good. So, but what he's doing is not a good. It's harm for himself. Even worse than the time that he was arrested. So the thing that he's doing to try to talk president and his family, that's not good, you know. So all of these, forgiveness should be there. Leave everything to God's hand. If you are mistreated, you are arrested, you are an innocent person, you are arrested, you didn't do that, and they realize that you are arrested, it's a false arrest, and you are released. They leave it, even though you are suffering those. I was in your shoes, Garang John, as I mentioned before. 2016, when I went to Juba, I was arrested. I was beaten. Some of you in Juba know exactly the story what I went through in 2016. Okay, money has been took away from me. Those money that I was going to build a school for the young children in the village, but that money was taken away. Okay, but I didn't come to social media for the upset that what happened to me and what happened to the money that has been taken, and those money are just going to help the vulnerable kid that need help in the village. So I didn't come here and try to talk the president or try to talk the government all kind of stuff. No. Sometimes you know in your heart that you are innocent. That's why you release. And then if you suffering and you being beat up or anything, that I'm sorry what happened to you, Garang John, and it should not be happening like that. And just leave it to God and go on with your life, you know. So if you post those things, you know what happened. The horrible thing will happen more than what happened to you. Many people will die. Okay. Now a lot of people are following you, John. Many people, and a lot of people. The reason why some of you are watching right now, saying that why Lagos State Media talk about this. The reason why we condemn this from Garang John is because a lot of propaganda people are using it. They are taking those things from Garang John page. Okay. Many of people who are enemy for peace in the country, majority of their propaganda that's doing social media, they're taking from Garang John page. That's why we condemn this before it go out of hand. What if the breaking news that you just put out, if that will be the chaos, and then the support of Riek Machar or the forces of Riek Machar will see that okay, that this happened. It's happened. It's already our chairman has been arrested. So what else remain? They will start take the law in their own hand, like what happened in Nasser. Okay, and that's why we want to come out here to condemn that, to condemn it, to say that that's not true, and we also to alert the public, that the people that follow Lagos State Media, that bad news is a fake news. Disregard it. Okay, and if you go to we young die. Actually, again, tell Garang John. I know quite right, Garang John after 10 years, and you got 10 years, I know you run maybe in a right Garang John akiran again Garang John is that that got a good a very harmful and quite no quite a little bit man the chicken jalo no range ja ko won juba ko ran wo year wa ka riang machar or krong je riang machar ja go ting cái rồi qua giờ bị lo bị trong qua lo ko mu shendi kwa buto nine years sabab beting go okay that's a thing you riang machar ki match ko mu ja yen ki ko to ma kran farage like what happened in in Nasser. So can and a quick below to dispute to make people aware that Kachi Garang John got paid the call a che young machar ki might che ko pa kana the kin ko naira why boy in the ban ko nyo chimen anti got ten no akiran again is Garang John. Next media is the past media to ben big on kina mai Garang John bu campaign big Garang John below. So can e ku balawo bangi we ko woni jam kran we ko woni jana le wuci we ko le send me ben back Garang John ko no we wa to ten bu save life a life that innocent life to be lost for senseless propaganda. So those are the things that I want to let you guys know. So kene and you balawo we mon jang dai donc du ko dong wo kan ki ban e lom ko dong e la lom we won ci ni tiang tin lo o ko le state media ai barka dal ko jig ban no that's not the way tong to red man ci min daman wan tere ci lo ko ay to ko ken 2013 ci ko bu batim robe bok ci juba on across sudan ko de kan ken ki lo nasa how many people to pa ke ko wan ko support riak machar aki ben baby propaganda so my below is social media bilwe klan jengi lokane ak golek ku jila bu chok lokana lo big ko dong big ngadi big big white army jeng ma board big la lo disarm which is the way video at a time I would play those composed of that Machar supporters online I majority on commission cycle alone Garang John page could be capable with propaganda. If you never got a one reacting, general Major, David Major Libito, Geladas, ideas, Jacob Bito Saget. So can in a quick level, we will look clear Garang John again here. Garang John, please use your social media away when being be well educated, do not but propaganda town on PayCo, your followers can take that, and if innocent people be last live can be told be or not. The Kuki Garang John post a key part. Kimmy quite you me I cut, but give me one kiraloy. Take cheating one cheap one Lena Kudong, a corocor one knack from a chapter corocor. Cái tin của lừa one juba nó coi cắt bé gọi bé cái chi post on social media qua cắt bé gọi coi cái chi quên social media quên cái này you bulu per ben coi lên social media that cái cọc đúng cái quên cái chi post on social media đúng cái lom cái gì có ai propaganda misinformation chan coi nó giluk Sudan cái này ku bulu correct click với cái này chi lakin kan and we balawe I hope we mon jang da ta day the lang the let's say media here watch we are not again Garang John is always he's always when it's in the day one that they repost look ban family ban the kalu attack watch it ban me bu jam bu lu Garang John mu kan loy no che ku loy ne kana lakin kan ku ci loy ko ne bigger than Garang John, a bigger than president, a bigger than all of us. A bit dangerous. Quite abato. Napele ki abi polka gato. So we call it that Lake State Media, we Lake Stadium Media Polo, will take that message to you, which you Garang John post a Che by President Yang Machara Kijamat at Topande, who spokesperson there will Kichal Bay, media you can't even be, which will Langarang, which you Garang Relachi, Garang John Kilo Relachi. So can Ben, you Balawa. So anyway, so to go back before I close down the show, so I want to remind to let you guys know that about the war in Nasri Apana is a very dangerous thing. It's very we are so sad to see the loss of life, the loss of General David Major. That is real painful to all of us. He should not die, and we should condemn it. We should blame government. Akumas bani Salva Kiir Mayadit Achiran Palway. Ajukai Palway. Kojito Nasir Mukurichi Bito. You came one. You came one General David Majur. Kujala Kudangula JK. Qatar. Wachiran Chula Bakala Conway. A muke lo chicken. A very sad indeed. Which in Banyan Yen commander in chief. Mopuru Pitalamed begam. No SSPDF could be jig below. Rescue alone, you can one instead of that. Young Machar and Pen, Bulletin, where Jangayan Bukong Lope, Talaman, and Wilkon Krongadia Yin Promadi in Jaramuju, were Tyler and Nokoj Io. Have we Yaki Majur Jaramuju and when they crong a soldier says, no, and he refused, no, and Cleprata no IO. Quit. And he fought for 4 days, for 4 good days. Those 4 days, Perenke, Kuban, the can get come to watch, the Kiki rescue, the Kikito. Political Pulgan and young Machar, below Young Machar, Agida, young Machar, White Army, July, was Ake the Tonkin. When you can beg, come approved, which you look at boy. Relative Quakram, you and let watch, and you and the UNO, the can you went, Kigala Tongue, Virala rescue could win a front line. What do in that area? Let be locked. She not set up the children, no ran, she put be knock a Sarah, Jato, Jato. Support of young Machar. Support of IO. They are doing so much propaganda. A joke is come for disarming. Agwalek is coming. John Gulen is coming for a revenge. Abu Shok is coming to take to come and take our land. All this propaganda. And let's say media 2 weeks before this happened, we give a warning because what we see in social media propaganda, why Ben Bugabe, we can't keep Colorado King can't wait. The king of Kuma Junuba Chiating. What one junkie a creep and dollar. I will sack it. I can party, I can media, I will tie it. Without Dolmoon. And we give away that told one young. Where can you bend dollar? Can you bend that dollar? Can you bend out dollar? Well, big a tool. Well, to go correct. Where can you bend dollar? Walk to social media, walk to diaspora, we know what is going on. Jantong Nasir quicker, a chief will cook outside here. Walk out to baker wine in one. If you ban bake, look at you, whip all let's let me away, can't clear that, because lump are serious. They think even Agdol. I hackle para, I call media. You call media, you want you 2 good days, white boys. Point message to group play. I played here 2 weeks ago before General David Kinano. And I give a warning. I give you guys to give you a head up. But Akuma Kachila do not make Kila Loy. Kila Loy end up, Tonga Thor, and it's still a Chimichi Loy. Palgi big enough. What you damn Kira. Quite a coin. Ketiara, you and a big gum and the other. ko jara to ci ga ji e jula mu kana a very sad tragedy already na kina kwa to kwa jam oh yira ni gat ne ga ni gat kwa yit kai ka le ka yit yit ja ja na wo mon jam le kina le yit kwa ja ne ga ni gat e kri ji ban pa bi kri ban jara gam ka to ga yit ku da pa gam le ban bi jara gam ko kra ke wa ji ko miet kwa yit kwa jam wa ti kwa jam pan ngana ci ko nok bi ma ci puppe kurem ci puppe ga bi jabe lo ke bi ko jabe lo bi ko ko mo ko to e jira wan mu ko wa mi mo njang awa to ka de lo kuma mo njang ko de kinga ne wola tin bu Garang Jon bu ga dok kin Garang Jon ko loy tan a ci pat togin ka ban ka le bi lo bi krong bi ngadi na we bi krong ngadi bi lo ina pi ci mikla lakin ko kri la ya jabo e kna ko ra da ban yin monjang ina monjang yin Garang Jon ina che dor ina che nuer bi bien ben ya monjang no ba ben ba ci bi pol kana bi ko di le monjang yimini ko ngi ca ting da krong jorol David kento jorol David ya kemu jorol de même nyanden pa ci dial bi mi nok David ma jura même nyanden même nyane noir wa ci nok ko tien nyane noir nyande ci tiak wa ci nok ani fi bi a tribal is here lakina yi talwel ke ko ci biet ko biet ci gëna ko biet yo bi ko ci na ana ko ato so ko we kan ne bi balawa ko don we gri ben jot kana bluan bi da lu ko ngalu oh nya ci gat lakina ni talwel ke a wi kuen ka o ka jam tin awi kon wo ka jam tin o wa fi ban chin man gor ko jinum sudan chin man gor ka e pir bu king be nyinu be la du ba na pir pat be chen ma chakal bo mo to ni bi ga chat ko kalaw ni ne wi ko be chen tong ne wi ko bu king jinum sudan ba na ma se pet mi kwon bi nang mi de cham bi para ki bi galati bi nang para bun bi galati ba nang charpa ba go kwon ba ka ko lao ni ne ok jam ti why again government why we opposition why we an opposition in government we don't care we don't need that we don't need any money ran tu jam ka tana ne ran kilo head ke opposition tu ka cha ma na mara ya Madit are national security, Madit government agents, Madit and JCG. Because government because challenge we condemn. A chairman biga you ban ate maron. We because the panune a we kon ga wo ka jamti. Kinu gor ko. Kinu gor. Kinu guru ba kinu pazin gor. No problem, submit. Yeah, so can and you die clever. You can't look at quite be at Mupurpaja. Colorado man, you Sudan. I can 2013 and you brought up it. You brought up it. You could wear wood team and you car backing. You can 2013. Cha tong wa chlo lu na ser we mon jang lorat e tong won ta king ko shi ga nok jonga lu ana jeng bore ni kana wa na ko e gi ma de ko ko ken tongwa lo rat ken nasir a che jen mi bor ne na ka a ka mi ka jen akuma ku ja ko gwan pe long kertu e plan ci we ku i general David majuri ci de nok ne plan ci we ku so kan eglawe and kitoti and kitatan ba kuma lo criticize but ana wan ci kuma lo wet akuma na ma lo sin ku ban salpa kin ma yadi aki you are wrong no 17 years old all his young all his kadang ade youth age at lo ro kanyi bedap mulora anyi ma ko ka anyi at le bilaka ben ko an telo ma puru be je be dik toy bitala me yene kama nan ci la be dol to bitala me be gam je bi lo ko ka do min ke mwan ka ci debe ma jur ka je ke qatar je lo tui ri ci ka do ba bu red wa le bulin ke dong ka James Kong ke lo an ba bu ra ci la do an so bari ba ci dew okay je okay ci so ba ci dew ko ba bu ra ci le bi lo nasa ko je won ci diga nan no minimum no ko no attack lo rat ko je ka no ngano ma cha kala anake ci le bi cha ga chok o ti tiara to ka de ka gat la ke no alo an so ba da ci dew wa du kem bi du malakal lo ko ju ko da bi ko ka big tor big root 4 days bi ke ngwa ka ta ana choke ana roke yat ken ay to rabat won timin tang a ci ga mo chok bana tin ke chat but ban a kid je to the color rescue the best plan that he came out the UN the corporate and to watch be UN be jala to watch to win to win per question adu wo ki to tio kana to ko ka ci golpe when say ma du dar park ka ci lu da ka be ko la lom ka di kirai le bro lo ci kina ci ka ba ci gam bi ka nok ashir gam men ko ju bet pe jango too late it's too late it's too late Jarobajur is no longer here with us and the other soldiers they are not here they are no longer here with us they're all gone just like that very sad listen to Gudong to get by my clock. Bila Bukian General Willing, you like General James Kong, listen to Goodwill.
And disarmament. They didn't tell them on the mission and the mission for my General Johnson, the Assistant Chief of Defense Forces for Mobilization and Disarmament. And then, yani بالفعل قمنا يوم 15 شهر اثنين قيادة بتاعنا كان ادانا تعليمات عشان نقدر انه القوات بتاعنا في ناصر يقدر انه يغيرهم لانه واحدين منهم طول شديد قعدوا 10 سنة و8 سنة فده من الحق بتاعهم انه يغيرهم. اننا قمنا مع الزميل بتاعي عشان نقدر انه to see them off هم ماشيين لناصر. قبل ما ماشوا بقى في سياسات الحكايه ماشيه politicized انه نحن ماشيين نعمل ديبلويمنت لجوا في اتجاه بتاع الدما ولان كاونتي and then ناصر وماشي حتى جوكو. We try our level best انه نحن to correct it في social media وفي أجهزة الأمنية برضه، في أجهزة تانية بتاع الميديا، لكن نحن ما قدرناه. نحن ما سياسيين، نحن عساكر، لكن الهدف the primary mission بتاعنا it was to relieve the Nasser forces. This is what was given to us by our chief of defense forces, and this is what was planned by the command and control. في general headquarters انتوا قاعدين فوق. نحن ما قدرنا لانه البحر بحر بتاع الصوبات، وطبعا انتوا عارفين بنشب. It's a shallow river at this time, at this moment. ما قدر يكوشوا. البوابورات فعلا سياسات كان كثير، لكن لما الناس يعني الناس الموضوع ده الروش وضع بتاع الناس ده روشوا منين وفي دياسبرا الناس اللي عملوا شغل ده شفتها. لما البابورات ما قدر يكوشوا عندنا توالى قاموا بهجومات في ناصر. يوم حكم هم كان اول حاجه يهجموا بابورات في يوم 26 شهر 2، لكن هم ما قدروا. بابورات توالي واصلوا لاتجاه بتاع ولان كاونتي. في يوم الثلاثة شهر 3 هم بدأوا هجومات في ناصر. ده الوايد عامي، وايد ابيض، الجيش الابيض مع ايوه سوا. طبعا الجيش الابيض ده ما مقوم ساكت بدون زول يدفروهم اول، دن بعدك يعني في حاجات بدلهم. الحرب ده كان اسهل لنا، لكن احنا ما بنتكلم فوق دانا، فوق السياسه كبير فوقه. امام حتى اننا فقدنا ناصر. فقدنا ناصر وده مسؤوليات بتاع الجيش طبعا، جيش كده. لكن الحقيقه نحن كنا ماشيين غير القوة الموجود في ناصر. ده كان الحقيقه وده كان الهدف بتاعنا، لانه الجيش ده طول وبرام ده هم كان قبل كده طلبوا. الشعب ده كان ده طلب بتاعهم، لان انا من الناس دائما انا بمشي في ناصر، ولما يحصل حاجه وضع كان ما وضع يعني ما كان في استابيليتي كويس كده بين الجيش بتاعنا مع الشعب الموجود في المنطقه اللي هو بنادى انفسهم قال الوايد عامل. ده كان العسل في سنين دول كله، لكن الكمان بعد كده قرر انه لازم يغيروا، يودي ناس جدد ممكن يكون في تفاهم بين الناس. ما ماشيين نعمل ديزامن زي ما بكلمه في السوشيال ميديا، قال ماشيين نشيل السلاح في يد بتاع ناس، ما ماشيين نعمل ديبلويمنت في مناطق بتاع ولان ودما وجوكو. ده كان ما هدف بتاعنا. ده البسيط اللي احنا كنا دايرين نوري. اما حاجات العسل في السوشيال ميديا اللي بقول باقي ما حقائق ان احنا قاعدين مع جونسون، عملنا شغل سوا معه ونحن رجينا اول دماري يوم السبت. لو ما كان السياسات دي الكادو يعني كان نحن ماشيين نرجعوا نفس الايام يعني. قمنا يوم السبت كان هنا ما نرجع يوم الثلاثاء. ده كان خطه بتاع القياده لنا. فانا بقيف على كده. لو في سؤال بعدين انا and then I will be able to answer you. We have a plan to bring those who have been scattered. We thank our local population in Wulang and Nasser, those who are keeping the SSPDF soldiers who have come out from Nasser. But the number of the deaths, we will not tell you. The number of those who have been killed, and later on we cannot be in social media. So our forces were a battalion. So those who are coming, they are not even 71 alone. They are coming, they are somewhere. We had also 150 who are now going to Galashar. You see? So we have the number. And the government plan cannot be put on social media. But to assure you, we will go back to Nasser. They politicized it to kill people. As now people die. They say And the politicians are even talking about the composition of the forces. That there are Agwelek, there are Abu Shok, there are criminals in Juba. We have been armed up and want to send them to Nasser. But if we come to the question, this is the work of the politician? But the politician in South Sudan, they're like that. When they were looking for something, position or what, they have to kill people first. So now it is them to avoid that, not to interfere in the work of the army. So this is what I can say. It is them to avoid, not to interfere in the army. Like now they have taken the garrison of Nasser. What do they will benefit? Are they going to another country that will be called what in Nasser? What do they achieve? We have lost life. And it is the work of the politician. You see? I think it is another circle that want to go back to war. But we will let her not allow this to happen. This is the country, but I want to answer because I don't want to. Let us be specific on our question. Now, we talk about the unification of the forces. I think I answered one of you before. Unification of the forces has already been done, except only phase 2, which is remain. The modality that we are going to use, the barrack was the barrack of the SSPD, and there was no IO before. And when peace was signed, and then everybody come in. You see? Now the modality that we are going to use, we are going to tell them we are not going to fight with anybody, like what we did before. We are not going to fight with anybody, but we will go back to our barrack. And also we will call the civil population. We have been politicized and also misinformed to come back to their places. It was just a politic. The fight they say these forces that are going to relieve the forces in Nasser are not from unified forces. While we have 300, which was previously deployed from Rang we brought them to Malakal. And then we joined them with the force that we took from here. Okay? And then they say no, it is not true. These are the Agwelek. Agwelek are part of the SSPD. And we don't have a Bushuk. And we don't have criminals that have been run up from Juba here and taken to Nasser. These are the politics. This is what kill people. You say that you are from Gulam. I'm from Nasser. If you want where I was born, you see, in military, the relief on line sometimes is difficult. You don't relieve in anyhow. You have to find a way that how to relieve the forces. And also, it's not like when you just let her decide that we remove this here. No. You need to start first of all. The forces are also demanded and the civil population also demanded. But is it correct that they should attack them? They cannot attack them. You see? You cannot attack them because they are not relieved. No. It is a difference. It is a politic of the SPLM, SPLA-IO in Nasser or elsewhere. With all this, what we have been realizing, what they are doing, they are looking for the guns. Now, sometimes they tell our forces who have been scattered to lay down, to give the guns to them. In which, for example, the process that to evacuate the general, in which all of you know, how do you evacuate? Evacuation cannot be done within the rival forces.
Yeah, listen to this side exactly. Listen to General James Kong. This, what he's saying here, listen very carefully. Okay?
That is never happened. because you cannot evacuate while your enemy within 100 meters. It is impossible. So it is something that have been planned to kill the general. You see, by telling them that you surrender, by telling them that okay, we will evacuate you, you leave the gun inside, because he has stayed for 4 to 3 days protecting himself. So I never see it in the world that a evacuation to be done by UN within 100 meter or 300 meter, your enemy is there. Never happened. And we advise also. We have been advising when we were on the ground with my colleague Johnson, telling them, okay, now if the process has been taken like that, let this SPLA-IO go to the distance. But nobody did it. Even the UN cannot accept also. How do you evacuate people while you're the enemy is within 100 meters? So I will stop there. Mobilization and
Now, you see, so you heard from General James Kong Chwalale. You see what he say? They know everything. They know what happening, but they are watching. They watch General David Majuro and his forces to be killed. They are watching. They're watching what happening. They really know, and they know if they can go in to serve, they will save the life of General Major and his forces with his men. But they allowed to be killed. They mal. Listen to Johnson Willing. Those are the two generals that went with the Babur. Okay? Those are the two generals supposed to go to Nasser. But they returned back because they say that Sobariba is shallow. Babur cannot move. What about them? Why they don't go by foot to Nasser? There's no any plane can go pick them up, drop them to Nasser. I've never been to Nasser and Malakal. I don't know how far between Malakal and Nasser. But I remember during the Haraka time, they get Jayal Chabi, they would walk by foot. When I was young boy, we walked from Barkazal to Ethiopia. And we walk by foot from Kopoita until Kakuma. So why don't those judge, those soldiers, military in that Babur, why they don't, if the Sobariba is so shallow, the Babur cannot move, why they don't just walk by foot so that they can save their colleague, their comrade?
انا ده نقوله لكن ده نتكلم كلام بسيط بيقولوا جونسون رجع غابه وجونسون رجع كده ده كلام ده ميديا انا ما بنشغل بهم وانا ساكن انا ما سياسي وجنوب ده تاع كلنا ما في دول بدون فضروا عشان اقولوا يا جنوبي يا بقول في جوبا ولا يا بقول في حكومه جنوب السودان حكومه جنوب السودان انا قاعد من قاعد تاع حكومه جنوب السودان زي ما قلت سميته يوم ده انا قاعد تزامن عن mobilization كلام قاعد كلام ده كلام تاع ساكت انا ما نشغل بهم كان بس نشوف حقيقه وين المشكله كان اصل في ناصر ده مع سي دي ار قال انا نزلنا شيء وكلمنا في مع جيش في مراكال قلنا انا ما ماشيين نشاكل مع مواطن ولا ماشيين نشاكل مع معايو ولا ماشيين نعمل نظام انا ماشيين بس نغير جيش في ناصر وناصر ده قال طبعا ما ناس مننا سي دي ار من ناصر انا من ناصر كمان.
You hear from Johnson Willing, and this is what we've been telling the keyboard warriors in social media. They were campaigning very hard that Johnson Willing and James Kong, they are going to disarm. We played their video that they are not going there to disarm, they are going there to release those forces over there. And then, and Agwelek is not going. The mission of Agwelek is to take those forces and then come back. Because Agwelek, the forces are using Babur of Agwelek. That's their mission. But no, the propagandists and also the IO official in Juba, they come and they're supporting diaspora. They campaign so hard so that to make sure that to see that the forces are going to Nasser are going to disarm. Huh? That's what they were preaching. And now listen to those generals. They are in that mission. What are they telling you?
So she has a banana can fit you by Utu command another Safin or another intermediate. Talibu banana gam made Munu. Another banana can call one can do again. Kalana Gammy Minayo. A second now the Major be a die with a second manas. You'll be the RPG win. Malga became a win. One I can't have an eye with a man. Tarbino. One I get the Met Le Kumta in Sudan. Was an garden got with a Kumajin Sudan. So the I will shackle my SSDF, PIP Nasser. My golden mother in. So Kanana been Sabil Bamna, the mother Uriaka, but they be water for you then. So the young witch here, I do myself, Pinasa. What's your
You see? You hear from the honest man, Johnson Willing? They say that is IO of Briamachar are the one who attacked SSPDF in Nasser. Everything is known. All the evidence there. The whole evidence are there.
Which were not provided in the job.
Did I listen to SSPDF spokesperson?
And I'm going to talk about 4 areas, and I'll put them in point form. One, let me once again confirm to you that the body of the late General David Majak was successfully extracted from Nasser, where he was killed. He was not directly brought from Nasser. His body had to be taken using a speedboat from Nasser to Akobo, and from Akobo, the body was picked and brought to Juba, along with the staff from ANMIS that was killed with him. The body was received at Juba International Airport by the Command of the Defense, led by the Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs, the Chief of Defense Forces, the Presidential Advisor for Security. Basically, the entire command was at the airport. As we speak, the body is Juba Funeral Home, and plans have started on the process of burial arrangements. So the command will sit and decide when and where he will be buried. And the command also confirmed that he will be accorded full military honors when he's finally being laid to rest. That's point number 2. Point number 3, after Nasser was overrun, and the Assistant Chief of Defense Forces, Lieutenant General Gabriel Rob, who also doubles as the General Chief of Staff for SPLIO, was arrested, along with rest, some components of SPLIO that was integrated into the system during the unification of second level of command. They started fearing, especially those who have been fueling and funding the conflict in Nasser. And that's why those who felt that they had been contributing towards arrest in Nasser by way of mobilizing, by way of providing funds, they took off. Some went into hiding here, Some went to the nearest SPLA-IO cantonment areas here in Juba, say Central Equatoria and Terekeka. Some fled as far as Laonwer areas. And as we speak now, we have the Deputy Director General for National Security, ISB, Lieutenant General Yeidal, who was in charge of operations, fled up to Laonwer area with his bodyguards. And the leadership discovered that, all right, out of fear, whether real or perceived fears, I would like to use your platforms to, on behalf of command, appeal to those who were integrated into SSPDF during the first level, unification of level of command, and all from opposition, from IGO, that got integrated into the organized forces, that they're part and parcel of the current security setup, and therefore they have no reason to fear. Practically speaking, technically speaking, in terms of organization, they are part of SSPDF and the organized forces. But psychologically and mentally, they are still SPLA-IO, and that's why they took off. So we are appealing to them, to those who even went as far as Laonwer area, to come back. Those who are around, you come back, come and resume your normal work. Starting from the day this appeal is made and is spread, we are appealing to you to come back and resume your work. You have no reason to worry. That's point number 3. Point number 4 was after Nasser was overrun, our security forces, at first, a big number was dislodged and took refuge at an island called Torjoy. Then the main barracks was captured and divided into 2 sections. We had one section, the armory unit, Malta de Babar, where the commander was held up for all those days. He was at armory unit. Then at the main entrance to Yaradu, there was another armored vehicle that was being commanded by a captain. So these servicemen held their ground until Friday, Thursday. So, during the standoff, the White Army kept on attacking them at the 2 locations within the barracks. But for those that were dislodged and took refuge on Ireland, they were never attacked again. So after they stood their ground until Thursday, while we were fighting off, while Gerald, the late Major, was fighting off repeated attacks, an agreement was reached that all those who were held up would be extracted and the process would be facilitated by enemies. And that was how enemies got involved, but unfortunately it ended in tragedy.
Okay, let me pause that. Yakwana ya Junubin, something I don't get it. Why the SPDF don't take an action and they put everything on Dr. Yang Machar so that Yang Machar can go and serve General David Major with these forces? Why they didn't, why SSPDF headquarters, why the president commander-in-chief don't take the action? This is the question that I would like to let SSPDF headquarters and the government actually, and the office of president to answer this question. We need clarification here. For 4 days, 5 days, General David Major with his forces fighting up the White Army and IO. But they are communicating with Yang Machar, okay, and they are not taking action to save the life of these people. I don't get this. So what is going on here? You know that, okay, you know that IO is your enemy, right? And also you allowed your enemy, you think that your enemy can save your men from not killing your men. Your enemy is fighting with your men, and at the same time, your enemy here, you telling him to go and rescue your men. And at the same time, they're fighting with your men. I don't get that. That's what I don't get it. So I would like clarification here. You Junubin, are you guys confused the way that I confused? Huh? I'm confused here. I don't get it.
And of course, the commander-in-chief of SPLIO is Dr. Yap, gave assurances to our general that was besieged that all would be fine. The leadership of state and county were involved in the process. Then I'm sure you saw some pictures that were circulating when the general was being carried by a group of men in uniform. So at the point of him maybe getting onto the plane, a lot of fire was opened, and unfortunately we ended up losing him along with 26 others. Let me go back, that was on Friday. But on Thursday, there was a successful operation. The plane landed, and the captain that was in charge of a second armored vehicle was successfully evacuated. So the last one ended in total failure and death. Then now all those who were dislodged started finding their own ways. So as we speak in Wulang, like I said earlier on, we have over 70 in different locations and a big group of 150 intact heading to Gyalachal, where we have our security forces, the nearest military barracks. But the rest got scattered to Wulang County, and this is where the bone of contention is. So they got scattered, they sought refuge in different villages, and they have been given protection by different chiefs, different clans, and different leaders of the White Army. They have been protecting them up to now, including the ones in Akoba County. So on behalf of Command of SSPDF, let me once again say thank you to all civilians in Wulang and Akoba counties for showing the highest level of patriotism, the highest level of nationalism, for shunning tribalism, for embracing culture and peace, but not culture of revenge. So we say thank you to them for the support they have been giving them. From the day they sought refuge in their respective homes, they've been giving them physical protection, mental security, they've been giving them food, logistics, without even one paying for it up to now. So we are saying thank you to those respective communities, individually and as a group. That's the message from command. And let me reassure those who are still not yet back to us is that we are working very hard to ensure that they are brought to safety, with the cooperation, of course, of the local population that is protecting them. We cannot get them to safety without cooperation and continued support of those individuals and the groups and the clans that took them into protection. So we are coordinating with them and all the friendly forces for them to be reporting to the nearest. For those in Akobo, the nearest military barracks is Wat of Neural County. For those in different villages in Wulang, we have the nearest at Gyalachal, the nearest at Baliet and Melakal. So we'll ensure that.
Okay, let me stop right there. You listen to SSPDF spokesperson. Now he's counting the station, the forces area around Nasser, where the SSPDF forces are based, the base around Nasser. And this base, they have SSPDF forces, and they didn't even go to rescue their comrade. that are in dire need. Why they didn't order these base around the area they just count to go and rescue these people? Now they are telling them those people who scattered, those persons who ran for their life, the second round. Now you listen to what they're talking, the way they're speaking. They are just begging, please, White Army, please, SPLA, allow these people, bring them to the nearest. Please, they are begging. And there are brought around the Nasser area, and these forces, SSPDF forces, they didn't even dare. For the 4 days, these people are fighting for their life, for dear life. This time, Brak didn't go to rescue them. What a point.
We coordinate so that they are taken to the nearest locations where we have presence. We are coordinating, but there is interference, like I said, before some of you arrived. And let me repeat that the interference that we have already registered is that we had agreed with the local population in Akoba County for those who arrived there to be escorted to what? It was put on hold yesterday after Dr. Riek personally interfered in the process. He had instructed the commander of Division 8, Major General James Utonglia, and Utong actually went and sent forces to where our servicemen are being protected with clear orders for them to be taken forcefully to SPLA-IO base at Walgag. The local population refused. Dr. Yaga to call the local civilians, persuading them to release them. They said, no, we are not sure that the security would be guaranteed. So they also refused. They said they either would be the one escorting them from point A to where SSPDF is, or they are picked up from where they are direct to Juba. So because there was that interference, Dr. Riek promised that he would provide a plane, an airplane this morning. So we are hoping that.
Can you imagine? They put everything on Dr. Young Machar head. After even Dr. Young Machar forces killed their men, they still let those survivors of SSPDF who are scattered around the villages around that area. They even allowed Dr. Machar to send the plane after all of the mess. What about them? SSPDF, you guys don't have your own plane to send to pick them up? Instead, allow the same enemy that kill your men? SSPDF, you don't have your own plane to go and pick them up instead of let Dr. Young Machar to go and pick them up, and the same Dr. Young Machar is the one who killed other men?
It will not end the way it had ended in Nasser. And should anything happen, let the world know that there's already interference from Dr. Riek. Dr. Riek wants to hijack the credit that was given to the local population. He wants to hijack their credit so that he uses it for political leverage or for bargaining. So let everyone know that we are not playing politics. Our primary objective is to save the remaining precious lives. And any political interference that may end up like the one we had in Nasser, the person who interfering should be known. The last second information is that, I repeat, I had said it, but because some of you came late.
So what SSPDF or IO, SPLIO, they are just playing Tom and Jerry. That's what I'm seeing here. It's Tom and Jerry. If you guys watch the cartoon Tom and Jerry cartoon, this is what's going on here between IG and IO. It's Tom and Jerry.
Let me repeat it again. That all along SPLA have been saying that they were not part of the force that fought us. For those who came late, let me repeat myself, that the officer at the rank of colonel that led the armed White Army attack Nasser and overran it was called Colonel Tor Gillethorn. Colonel Tor Gillethorn, until the day he was killed in Nasser, was an SPLA officer. In 2019, he was a lieutenant colonel. He was selected by SPLA to go and attend training of the instructors for the necessary unified forces in Malakal. He was trained as an instructor and deployed at Panier in Bor County of Jonglei State. Somehow he found his way back to Nasser, and just a week before Nasser was attacked by the White Army under his command, he was clearly seen in military uniform addressing members of the White Army and giving them clear instructions that he was going to take Nasser at any cost. And of course he did it. So the question is, this man was not a White Army personnel. He was an officer from SSPLA-IO that was allowed to command the White Army in the fight for control of Nasser. So SPLA-IO is directly implicated. If they were not for it, they would have stopped him from mobilizing, from organizing, and leading members of the White Army. Even he was talking about logistics.
Yeah, it's really bad, Yajinovin. It's really fail. This is really, I don't, because these people, they were just left like that. They should not be died. General David should not die. So let me remind you guys to take you guys back where all this started. Okay.
That there are forces that do now prepare.
This is SPLA-IO, SPLA-IO representative in Juba. This video, they do the press conference 2 weeks ago before all of this. Okay. And we won. We played this video here. I played this video. And also I have another voice to play here. You guys can listen. And before I, let me play this video and then I will play the other audio voice to listen where all this started. Okay. The warning is everywhere. Red flag is everywhere. Okay. Government support have all the information he need to rescue those forces. But he didn't do nothing to save those soldiers and general with these men. They were left there at the hand of the enemy. Enemy decide what they want to do with them. Even they saw the enemy within, they put everything to go and tell the enemy within them in Juba, tell them that to send the plane to rescue them. Another way, whether the enemy within Nasser, they will kill them. The enemy within, they send. That's no way. They just give them. They're allowed to the enemy. That's nothing else.
To be deployed in Nasser to replace the forces that already in Nasser for the last 10 years. So, but we raise a concern about the composition of that forces that are in Malakal. We heard that the forces are composed of a small number of the SSPDF or the Unified Force that was brought from Northern Upper Niles, and also some forces of Agwelek, which belong to General Olang, and also the other forces of Abuchok. We object to this composition because the Agwelek and Abuchok forces are not integrated into the SSPDF forces, and they are not part of the necessary unified force. So we therefore object that deployment and composition of that force. We appeal to the citizens and JDB to carry out a thorough investigation about what is happening in Nasser, said that they will bring the facts as it happens on the grounds. And also we appeal to the leadership of the SSPDF, the Minister of Defense, and the Chief of General Staff to suspend the current processes so that we have an opportunity to talk to our peoples and brief them about the current situation, and also try to elevate the fact that has now is happening.
Okay. Now that's you hear from the SPLIO. Okay. Okay, the Babur, Johnson Willing, and James Kong, when they leave Malakal to go, they are going. Now they're playing the politics. These are the people who are playing the politics. This is before the war break out in Nasir. These are the people. You hear what they are saying. Okay? So, okay. Now the posted that they were accused that they are going to disarm the White Army. And according to this guy, I don't know what his name is. Okay? He said that give us the chance we can talk to our people. Okay, the Baburet didn't go. Baburet, that Johnson Willing and James Kong, they are in, they returned back. Remember when they talked earlier in the video that they cannot able to go to Nasser because Sobariba is shallow, the Babur cannot go. So they returned back to Malakal. So why is it again? IO. This is a question go to IO, Dr. Yamacha, which is a political team that just speaking. Okay, the Baburet that you guys accuse that they are going to disarm your White Army. Now they are no longer go because Sobadi is shallow, they were not able to go, they returned back to Malakal. Why is it again you fail to convene your White Army and IO to attack SSPDF? And those forces that you accuse that are going to disarm your people, they didn't go. You declare a war against SSPDF. And the SPDF didn't respond. The men, you killed the men like a chicken. Say goodbye, General David Major. Dark life should not be. There's another warning. Okay? Another red flag before that. This guy right here, the picture that I put up, his name is called General Yet Matthew. He's a Tomachirilo guy. Okay? He's one of the general in NAS. He's a general of Tomachirilo. 2 weeks ago, before the attack happened in Nasser, he talked in Clubhouse, okay? And he gave out a special warning. When those Babures going, he give out a warning that he command the special force to fight. And where are those special forces come from? Yeah, you know. So we talk. There's a very good plan that these people, IO, White Army, and a special force, there's a very big issues going on here. It's not an easy, simple case. The war of Nasser, there's a very big things going on. Okay? And we warned that when Junubin, 2 weeks ago, I played his voice to give the government of South Sudan a head up to do something before too late. But they didn't do nothing. All the warning signs are all over the social media. This young Matthew, he came to Clubhouse and he speak and listen to his voice, what he say.
You are clear, you are loud, clear. Welcome.
Chomuchang Awal Haja, what is going to happen? Kalam the mind wa alagama disarmament. Kalam the shakla adil tato. Wana tai I want to be very clear, open, and transparent for the first time, because this decision that I have taken now is not going to change until Salva Kiir is defeated. So, John Ochang, allow me first of all to just pass clear messages.
You are free.
Please.
You are free. You are free. Just speak unless your network is not good. You are free. Nobody open the mic. Nobody ask any question. You are free. The room is for you. The floor is for you. God.
Thank you. Awal haja konsol yahu jamalakal maolunj ma wahid ismu bonymon zaidan wahid ismu mabordol zaidan dubat kutar bita jihaz amn kutar and MI.
How important is it for us to improve the quality of our emotional and mental health in all?
In war philosophy, إذا ده تغيير تاقوه ما بيجيب ناس ده كله. جونو تشانغ تبارف جيش وهارون philosopher. You can help me later on. في حاجة بيجيب 2 deputies of chief of staff عشان normal change بتاعت army. قول في ناس قال عنده 11 ولا 7 سنة ما غيروا. وكلام ده ما صح. Every now and then they have been changing الforces ده 100, 200 كده all these long. عشان أنا داير أوضح حقائق معين للجنوبيين. This is number 1. Number 2 اللي بيجيب ضباط كبار زي ده شنو؟ نمرة 3 باخرة، الباخرة الكبيرة واثنين صغار بواخر بتاعت أولو ده. طبعا ديل بواخر very advanced. ما في أي سبب بخليهم يمشوا ناصر. The idea is now very clear. الidea هو إنه يطرد ناس في أولان، يعمل كنترول لأولان، يعمل كنترول لناصر forever. بعد ذاك يشيلوا جيجمير، يشيلوا مكير، يشيلوا مدين، ويجي يقفلوا باب بتاع ملوى القاوث خور مشار طوالي توباقاق and then leftward to Gilo to Uboth طوالي لأكوبو وبوشالا and then back to Eastern Equatoria. يعني is a war بيجي بطريقة تانية لكن الناس ما عارفين. And I know الاريا ده very well. أنا حقيقة أنا داير أوريكم. كان في زول جه فكر قال لي جيش تكون شولد قال جروا ناصر. كلام ده نبجاو نسفوقه بعد 2 weeks from now or 10 days. Brother John Ochang, you will get back to me يا جنوبيين. واسمعوا كلامي ده كويس. And John Ochang, I am not afraid any time from now that I have been to the height. I've been moving in the field, but I am telling you personally that I will be commanding this force. David Piel, asma kalam da kwezi akhui. Ana akhubda, I am going to command this force personally. وده شكل الجد أنا ما بجيف إلا يا أنا متى يا هم يا force بتاعكم soldier is back. ويبرجعوا لحد جوبا وبنتابع لحد جوبا. ده كلام هسه you are taking it as a joke. But let us talk after a few days from now. يا force ده يرجع. ده مسكر جاهز. أصلاً ده موضوع ما تشيلو قال دليل قال بتاع disarmament. أكاب حاجة now I want to pass some messages لأولاد بتاع upper Nile. جونوشان ساعتكم أنا أولاد إيكوتوريا القاعدين في ملكال وفي أي حتة تانية. It is a high time إنهم يطلعوا برا بالجيش بتاع السلفة ده. ولو في أي زول عنده contact معهم help us please خليهم يطلعوا برا. ده كلام أنا داير أوريكم ليه. نمرة 2 انتوا أولاد بتاع upper Nile مابان زايد النوير وشلو please talk to your people. وجيم بتاع upper دان القاعدين في upper Nile please talk to your people. ده كلام أنا بوريكم ليه. أي زول قاعد جنب بحر أو قاعد في شارع رئيسي خليه يلملم عفشه من هسه. get to the swamps. لسه في شوية سمك في swamps. لسه بتاكلوا هناك. شيل زورة حقك from today to tomorrow. لأنه اشتباك لما يقوم ما بنرحم أي زول. ده موضوع ده ما قال وايد عمي. Ma White Army da ana yen personally talking to you, yen with a clubhouse, the little kumgias ma kalam toda. I am commanding it personally. Wanas lan ma deralap fi mododa. And I hope my messages are very clear.
You see, this is 2 weeks before the attack. This is
Message clear.
So this is 2 weeks before they attack Nasser.
Madero, I don't want a tribal war. Like him, and let me tell you the truth. In Nuhasa, as I'm talking to you, and Nasdale, they will be using Al-Muwatanin Zayduru Bashariya. And you know that very well, Commander BL or Commander Rocha. هم جيش بتاع السلفة ده بعد شوية هيخشوا في بيوت بتاعت ناس they want to control everything. هم اتحركوا امبارح بالليل ونحن منتظرينهم. ده كلام ما كلامكم. صحيح ما عندنا أي حاجة لكن قلب ده we will fight. We will fight. And this is going to be last war. وأنا جون وشام مبروك عليكم عن حاجة البدأ في Eastern Equatoria ده. Let it not stop. Very soon إتكم بلغوا أنا هناك نتيجة. Let us finish موضوع بتاع Upper Nile ده this week ولا weeks to come. And it is going to be deadly. I'm sure about this. عليك الله جون وشام غير أي كلام بتاع democracy, secularism وياتو ده وقفوا. Please, I beg you, my brother, كلام بس كليجني شكله. كل الناس حاربوا بعدهم في الجنوب.
Obvious.
وانتم ما تخافتكم تاني. انا شخصيا انا I want contributions عشان انا دير بيت القاد ما في دولة اللي بيساعدوا انا. But I'm going to fight. وما عندي زول اللي بيودي لي انا. فالجنوب اللي عنده قلب. Please help us. وانا متأكد ده يا هو شكل اخيرا ده. I don't want to comment about politics and kalam farik bita self jab munu or wadi munu. I have been following. Some of them I have not been following. Lakin Consul Dada Waladna John Uchang, he was in Iowa yesterday. Umbareh da. Wana al-Batkala ma Dada wad ammi ana shakhsiyan. And I'm crying now. Because we are hope jiblena jesh bita self. Ashan gurush. ولن ولدنا يا هو يجيب لنا جيش ولن ده كان من المفروض لو وصل ملكال كان ما يرجع جوبا كان يدق صدره كان ما يرجع جوبا ولا كان يرجع جوبا من هناك يلقوا فرصة نحن بنفتح لهم طريق but now they have chosen another route and wallahi another route and wallahi أنا عمري I have been fighting under command بتاع ناس تانيين. لكن هسي أنا am commanding الجيش ده أنا شخصيا. أنا am commanding it. ما داير أسمع كلام أي زول تاني. موت and موت. حاجة اللي أنا دايره من جنوبين please أقفوا معانا بس. أقفوا معانا.
We shall stand with you, Matthew. We shall.
Okay, let me stop there. Now you hear this is 2 weeks ago. In Clubhouse, he came and warned Jonathan Matthew. So the war going on in Nasser. It's not just a white army. Nas or Thomas Chirilo is there, white army is there, Iowa is there, and also other forces who come from Khartoum, that part are there. Special force. So when you hear Yan Matthew talk about special force, where are these special forces come from? These are the forces come from Khartoum, northern part of the area. Those forces that will join Ameti or Buran. They just came back in South Sudan, and then he command them. Those are the special forces. So General David Majur, who was fighting so many fronts, is fighting with IO forces, fighting with White Army, fighting with NAS, and also is fighting with special forces who come from Khartoum, those people, those guys who joined Bran or Ameti, they come back to South Sudan. They're the one who fought in Nasser. So all of this, and we played this audio, we played all of this. I played them here 2 weeks ago, so that I can give a warning to the government to do something before too late. But nothing has been done. They ignore it. Huh? They say, they're not like social media. They don't even listen to them. But it's not for those people on social media. These people, they are in social media doing propaganda. They are doing a propaganda in media. They are raising money, supporting the people on the ground. And when we concerned citizens like me come out here and give you guys the information we hear, you guys don't take our word. That's what happened. So that's what I come up before I end up my show. I just want to send my heartfelt condolences to the family of General David Majurdak and also the forces, SSPDF forces who lost their life in that senseless, horrible war in Nasser. So my heart goes to those, to their family, and may God rest their soul in peace. We, the citizens of South Sudan, we are with you. We crying. Okay, we mourn with you. Yeah, we feel that pain that the family are going through. Your government neglect them. So before I leave, so I will leave President's give a nation address a couple of days ago. Listen to what he said.
Fellow citizens, we have been following the unfolding events in Upper Nile State, Nasser County. The government forces
Green Ngiwe Kene Lored Panapar Nile, Tenechol Nasser County. Jejakuma, Ener Pan Nasser, Water, the Chitarunka Betukien, Echilu Elbeka War, Kubeje de Riamba Yak, Kene, Ekin Redloy, Jejich, but what Kene? Achibila Welly. Kulaya del Tiat, Kulula Jej, Elabumot Nidomkin, Panulang, Kig Nasser. According to Rokubet Penro, Victoria Machar, in Banyan Bodan, a chati, Kubukamadloy, Bukiloretkin, Udumping. A Chabagam, Kuram Kukun in Diak, Pendiak, Ruantim Karu Uterokudi. A Matkina, Chibana Matpap, Quichiriak again, Kuokaben, Lonada. Quad koi war kya dor time abrod martin good humping a colin one pendiak ruon team karo gutero gudinial katen jej pan nasir akachi mojping jej ne chol white hammy ken ako jej spele io en mugriak machar ken a chire loy kuton won chiriak aton nona de jej io a chitana kuma a chibo moji banyamuk jej pan nasir ene chol general Majurdak ke jeken fi won ci dongpin a ci bitem biro ro tianda baba di riak mum a ci jam ke Majurdak ku legen bere tantin je ayo kene a ki jarol Majurdak a ki bi gam bere tan dictoriak a ci be legen ke ran tit ni UN lonada general Majur abrir ke cin nagen kurian UN abla nasir ku bi jarol majur ke ge ken worer ke yen la nyaaye akolani nitam pendiak helicopter UN ci la pan nasir kamun len ka ñuj go moj kenen ci lwel ci la geej ayo bi reer ka maj kamun bleti arabe na ñuj tin ci tan mitir ka bot ka diak chan briay bi ñuj angor ki relew Nala Riaret Jot, go ban muj. Chawan on chena tem, Bran Tiar Kutuk, Keja Kuma Nyai, Jorol Majur, a Chidong, a Kirat Bilebe Jorakole, Rantin Yinich, along UN, Chiwachira Logan be elected to Riak, Omorichi to Riaka Berich, Nona Dan Nasir, a rare real can IO Yakul, konin doro pen diak ruon lip karo utero kudi ale uret katiarat ale bigla big bang general majur la nyaay ke jechen di dungtin na wona reali helicopter UN karo achela nasir kamle ke kala general majur dak nyaay ke jechen won ti dungtin go ko ba moj yemen ayu balak bay lonada kamun loy kinret general majur dak tel ku jechen garar ke yen achinok kwa chin jal tuok tung tiara kira nen ye kwany ake chipot wek bay we aya chol ku bagrir duk ku pel ko irut pin achel we la rakidi ko ben beri non adda pana chol junub Sudan achi be duk tongi acha wi belaran nyelung ku biyada chin ku we gatan lona de kuma en wad no menen abokin en chira loy ken dial ting ku loy o garer ko bodel adori yemen an tinyin kwany kwan ci po diaw tin ko general majur dak ku jechen ke to ke yen piandie arer ke kwaden a ci to ke lui bay kwa brir opot alon wan weken abinali taw chin chwech ababeri ani chot bukarer duk pan junub Sudan ben nialich abu pan junub Sudan doj kutie agwerken egwir ko wil ban chalagir maktam di mor ngang num pan junub Sudan.
May God bless you all. May God bless South Sudan. Salva Kiir Mayadi.
Then you have it, guys. So there's an Japan Kegu Akademi show. We'll call Japan, we'll call Japan long chair, the legs, the media, white college. Could be walk a little, you call it Jan. Could she Garang John Tao, Kudong media deco that that Dr. Yak Machara Chimach, Kenelwit. Can agree the bay, Bobelag Sharp, Sudan. That Kichi Garang John got Kanachi, Dr. Yak Machar Akimach. So can it could be an Babalawa, can Akademic show, can it be Babel for command, Missy, in Garang John Lane video canna. In a way, next day media, economically, we just want to let you know that do not do a propaganda misinformation on social media, economy or your word. Can call you that, I will follow. Because we follow, they are taking whatever you post as a right information. Can winter post a bit dangerous. Goodbye. And because no, call you why Kariak Machar or Jenny Young Machar, she got things that are banging she might. Because you know, be lost take their own hand. Innocent people will be lost life. Like the war of 2016. What happened? What caused that war in 2016 is because of Facebook posts. Who can actually be robbing acting. So, Garang John and you know, Asasia, Kagabang, Kujapana Bank. Jan Wada Kunaka post. Banyakanat, Lada come to the band. They can demand that they'll talk. Don't tongue do tell me, Jay. By Torrent tongue to think. In the book I call win, innocent, I'll be the toe. When we get loy. So, can get a William, Garang John, in the asset of the country. Your knowledge can be useful for the country. Okay? If non kin poria, non kun ki right for non ben, non okuma, in hero mistreated. We may be for forgiveness at all. Yeah, to queen na queen media do conda ku yu archi ku yu na kuma ku yu non sar papir ku yu ba apology lata bi gara wa ku wo pi do apologize go kwen kan chiang mo jang to we pan bor particular twitch jam ke garang jon chan be duk pin bera chan klo tinu ba ko ko gun ko ci ko to ma chak de ali ba kala wa boy yimi ne gidi la gaay ci pose wen media de ko kana le ko ko tini ko jala ko wen je ni salfa je ni yak ma char ci jala ting bi ya ting o once okay banda ci maj de mo bi betit etong bi par ci ta ko ko mu diar kumit ko di ngwan ko moto ni wen kin da ga to tinu ko mo ci garang jon be loy ci ko no ko mu ci lo tine bay kraj so kan in my message don garang jon te ban e kulim ku you advise let's say media here is always honest the man tin my kan waji ben and jam tin and ran to campaign very hard can be loy the man kini match and here ban journalist in Sudan we yit part the two back and when the man kini loy national security the past time that you launch your media interview on Kilek State media loy we yit part the play in your word we like that so today Lex State media is also come out to advise you to stop posting propaganda and misinformation in your wall. You will harm the innocent life in South Sudan. So can in message never lagging logically we chap die color door ko lang in the we share tong that brother nyak tong 2013 people banking kumachaka lorot my message to all of political leaders in the country. Please do not play politics. Okay, tribal politics is not. And also for those of you who use tribal politics, please separate things. The issues going on is not between Nuer and Dinka. No. The war or the differences between IO and IG is only for political. It's between there. Do not take it because I see the war in Nasser. I have seen a lot of Nuer brothers and sisters came out in social media overwhelmingly doing campaign. So, and they see that this war in Nasser is between Nuer and Dinka. No, it's not the case. It's no. The SSPDF that you guys killed in Nasser, it's not the GM, it's not the Dinka alone you kill. All 64 tribes are there. Equatorial are there. Nuer themselves are there. Shuluk, another tribe, Wuduk, and others. They are there in the SPDF, those people you kill. So do not play a tribal politics. Okay? Do not use a Dinka and Nuer as your political way that to fight your way out or way into the government. No. Dinka and Nuer will never go to war. These two tribes are a cousin. They are brothers. They have a blood, each other. So we cannot use these two tribes, Nuer and Dinka, has a way that you want to fight your war within the government. So this thing is my message. Thank you everyone for watching. Let's say you have a good night.
Jilo wona tonadol toniel DJ Garang jagdalo diana bapi Adina majaga chideng makwaga oton barat ye manu ni ya kudimit pandani ya ayi tonu tuol butunga tonu adina majaga anyar ke begwan ba ilijit sukula ya aye toni tuol kutunga toni madini majak anyar ke bekwon ba ijin sukula igapi majong chegyo nani paye aye pingi kiye madini majak achideng makwaga otoni parat iye manuguni ya kudini pandeni ya aye toni tuol kutunga toni madini majak anyar ke bekwon ba ijin sukula igapi majong chegyo nani paye aye pingi kiye kwakanga balo kubila pingi ban pingi da den paniri junu ayora magol man madini majak kemati injine teto kutia injiwa ayora jema mana chulo chulo ire inayo ajibia binyebi ibon jagelo anyi pingo an bayani na kajal ya to pandir chenya ulni dayo ayana tiya dingi jengate dinyane ulni mo adolo maku ini chit paledi ayane mayadi kutengi nyela bodye undana edi janyam dino oga yego we love well kubi kayo ni den jiuna madu boy bagong mabu